Alright guys, you see my man Jay has gone, I don't even know, maybe like 8 months without a haircut, so he's looking absolutely crazy. And I'm actually showing one of my other guys a technique that I'm trying to teach him to help him out. So we're gonna cut the top first, and then I'm gonna show him how I feed the clipper right into what we did on top and save him a lot of trouble. He's having a lot of trouble connecting the top to the sides, and so the reason I'm showing him that is I think this can save him a lot of time. It can save you guys a lot of time. So starting basically with a section straight down the middle, guys, we're gonna cut all this hair even, so I'm not worried about having a perfectly smooth, clean section. I'm just giving myself a guideline down the middle, about 2 inches long, 1.5 inches maybe, and then we'll take that center guide and we will cut the rest of the top to matte. And I've talked about this before in one of my other videos, but you see guys doing the perfect sectioning, and that's cool and all, but a lot of the times you can get away with doing it like this. I'm just grabbing a whole bulk section, and the hair that's traveling further to get to that section is gonna be cut shorter anyway, so I'm not hurting anything by taking that hair to the middle section. Now you guys are gonna see we're gonna take a section, pull it up, the middle has already been cut, and we're just gonna cut it all blunt, nice and even. We'll work down this, I guess, his right side, and then we'll come back over the left side. Make sure the top's cut down. We will touch it up a little bit in the end, but right now we're just trying to get everything down to about 2 inches, then we can come in and cut the sides. Now I'm just gonna blow dry the hair. I'm not styling it, guys. I just want it dry. I used to cut the hair wet and then try to do my clipper work into wet hair, and that is a huge tip I can give you guys. Clippers are gonna feed into dry hair so much better. So go ahead and dry the hair, especially on the sides. We wanna get the hair laying down towards the side so that clipper can feed right into it. Now you guys will see I'm gonna take a number 3. I'm gonna let that clipper feed right into the top. He's got a little bit of difficult hair, guys. You know this red hair is a little bit difficult. But like I said, we're just gonna take our number 3, we're gonna allow that clipper to move slowly and feed right into it. Now guys, this is the Stylecraft Rebel. I do believe it feeds hair pretty well, so that is why I'm using it. I used to use my Babyliss for this, the Babyliss FX. There are some clippers that aren't as good at this, so test out whatever clippers you have and see what works best. Now this clipper is closed as well. Obviously guys, the closed clipper, the teeth are closer and it's gonna have a little bit easier of a time cutting. So the goal here is just to connect to the top, and like I said, I'm showing one of my new guys this. If you guys feel like you have trouble connecting the top to the sides, try this technique. If it's a little too short, a little bit too risky, start with a 4, start with a 5, whatever you guys want to start with, but just feed into the top and go ahead and get that difficult part out of the way. Now we connected the top with a 3, so right below that we're gonna come in, this is a 2 closed. And if you guys have seen my videos before, I basically teach that I always know how to fade into a 2. So whether it's a taper, whether it's a fade, burst fade, no matter what it is, I know I can go skin to a 2 the same way every time. And so we're coming right underneath that 3 with the 2 closed, setting up this panel to fade. Now again guys, if you started with a 5, then you would just go 5, 4, 3, 2, whatever you need to do to get down to that 2, and now we can do our skin fade into it. So I'm starting off with the Slimline Pros. I'm gonna go ahead and punch in my guideline, make a nice smooth guideline all the way across. Then we'll bald out underneath. If you guys feel like you struggle with your bald guidelines and the shaver and leaving harsh lines, I dropped a video a few weeks ago about putting in bald lines and taking them out, and basically my process of using a trimmer and then a sharper trimmer and then the shaver. So again, that's another thing I know a lot of you guys struggle with. But in the process that I use, we're gonna use a trimmer that's not very sharp. Underneath that, we're gonna use a sharper trimmer. That is gonna allow the shaver to have less work to bald out and also leave less of a line with the shaver. So basically 3 steps within this bald section, and I definitely urge you guys to check that video out if you haven't yet, if this is something that you struggle with. So now you guys can see I'm coming in with my sharper trimmer. Guys, I just did this. This is the Gamma or Stylecraft Evo with the GTX gold blade off of the new T outliner. So that's a filthy mod. That is gonna allow me to put that blade on there. And guys, these things bald out like crazy. So it's super short, super bald. I'm basically, same way we took the 3 and then took the 2 up into it, I did my Slimline, and now I'm taking the sharper trimmer up into that. Once it's all balded out, we'll take our shaver up into the sharper trimmer, and we'll have 3 steps within our bald, and then an easy transition into our closed clipper. Now, of course, we're gonna come in with our shaver, guys. I did go ahead and blend the beard in. I didn't get clips of that, but we'll go ahead and ball that with our shaver. And again, we have our trimmer line at the top where we used our Slimline. Underneath that, we have our sharper trimmer. So I'm gonna go not all the way up, guys. We don't wanna take the shaver all the way up to the line. Our goal here is to bald out the bottom and connect to that stubble that we have left from the trimmer. Now you guys may notice a little dip in the bald line here. I'm gonna go ahead and touch that up. Some people believe the bald line doesn't have to be accurate. I really think the more accurate your guidelines are, the smoother the fade is going to come out. Guys, I bump everything up little by little, so we're gonna follow this same line all the way through. So the more accurate that is, the more even my fade's gonna be. Our next step is the lever all the way open. And guys, on my Rebel, I have a fusion blade, so it's a little bit short. So I like to set my open guideline with a taper blade. So this is the Babyliss Custom FX with a taper blade. We're gonna go up about an inch here, guys. We're gonna stretch this fade out. We have plenty of room. So we're gonna set our guideline with it open, and then we'll work the line out from the bottom. Now guys, we're gonna start at the bottom of the section with the clipper closed, and again, we're just gonna flick that line out. As we work our way up, we're gonna open the lever. So if we're halfway up, the lever should be halfway open. At the top of the section, the lever was open, and it's all the way at the top. So basically, wherever you are in the section, that is how open your lever should be. So now we're about a third of the way up. My lever is a third of the way open, and the last line is 2/3 of the way up, so my lever is gonna be 2/3 of the way open. Once we work through that system, I can move my lever around. Of course, guys, if there's a dark spot, we want to open it all the way up. We'll go after that dark spot. If that doesn't get it, we'll close the clipper slightly, using the corners of the blade, going after the dark spot. If that doesn't get it, close it a little bit more until we're happy with this section. And we can do that throughout all of our steps, but in this step, I feel like it's most important, guys. You can see in this open section, it shows the most. So right behind his ear, above his ear, where most people have dark spots, you guys can see we have some darkness. So I'm gonna be working on that a little bit extra, and you guys will see, I'll just start with my clipper open and then kind of go through there. If it doesn't do anything, we close it up a little bit. Doesn't do it again, we'll close it up a little bit more until we're happy with it. So our next step is the one guard all the way open. And remember, guys, we're cutting into a number 2 all the way closed. And you guys see, if I flick that out just right, I almost can connect right into that 2. So guys, as we get to the top, especially, we don't want to dig that clipper in. We want to flick out off the head. And again, in that video I told you guys to watch, it has slow motion. You can really see the motion of the clipper and how we're not digging in, and that's very important, guys. That's actually one of the most important things when it comes to fading, in my opinion, and so I definitely think you guys should watch that. Now we're in with the 1.5. We're just cleaning up slightly between the 1 and the 2, and now we'll start to work on that last line that's left. So the clipper is closed now with a 1 guard, and you guys will see it is going to soften up this line, but it won't take it all the way out. We will come in with our half guard and clean that up here in a second. Now we're gonna come in with our half guard, guys, halfway open. That's the sweet spot. And you guys see, I'm just gonna rub it through. I call it the magic eraser. So you are not ever really gonna see the half guard like visibly cutting a bunch of hair. I say I kind of just rub it on that last line, and it will lighten up that line and soften it up. After that, we can go through this. We are gonna polish it up. You guys see a little bit of a line kind of right above where we're working. I actually just noticed as I do the voiceover, there was kind of that line before when it was just a 2. So I don't know if he has a scar in his head or that's how his hair was laying, or maybe he had a hat on. I think he did have a hat on when he came in. But anyway, I'm gonna go after this line a little bit, make sure this is smooth. But at the end of the day, guys, if you overwork it, you can cause more harm than good. So I'm just going back through my steps. Again, same way we were talking about the lever. I'm using a guard to clean up a spot. If it doesn't, then I go to a shorter guard until I'm happy with the transition. Alright guys, moving on to the other side. If you guys want, just follow along. We're going to do the same exact steps. So follow the color guide down below. I want to make sure you guys saw my last video I dropped. It was a brand new drop from the Custom FX app from Babyliss. If you guys haven't checked that out, definitely check it out. Guys, I now have a discount code for Gamma, Stylecraft, and Babyliss. So if you guys are ever looking to copy any clippers, make sure you use the code Seancutshair. You guys can save 10%. And you guys already know I have a code as well for fresh shears. If you're a barber looking for some scissors that are quality, check out my fresh shears video. Also use the code Seancutshair or click the link in the description for any of those companies. You guys can save 10%. Now we're gonna edge up the vertical bars, guys. This is another trimmer mod that I just did. This is the absolute hitter with the FX blade, and it is probably my favorite trimmer that I've ever used. Now we're gonna come in, we're just gonna clean up the front. He sometimes wears his hair styled and up, sometimes he wears it down. You guys can see he does have a slight recession in the front. So we're just gonna even this up. That way if he is wearing it down, it doesn't look crazy and super long in the middle. Now you guys see where it's so heavy in the middle. I kind of call it the unicorn. That's because there's so much hair in the middle of his head and it's all laying to that front. So I'm just gonna clean this up and then I'm gonna go ahead and follow that guide back through. One more pass, make sure it all is balanced and even. Now that we've cut the sides, I wanna make sure I have an appropriate length on the top. Like I said, guys, he just wanted it short, low maintenance, nothing crazy. He's probably not gonna style it. And so I'm just going through one more time and making sure it's even. You guys can see we got some inconsistencies there and then we can move on. Now guys, I sped this up because I didn't really record this on purpose and I'm in front of the camera half the time. We're just gonna clean up the mustache. I'm gonna line it up. I'm gonna take a 1.5 closed and cut it with the grain to cut the length down. We're just gonna hit the edges. We're gonna line up underneath the neck, on the back side of the beard. I will lightly do his cheek line where we're gonna use a razor, really just to get the hair off his cheek so that the razor doesn't irritate his skin. So the more hair, if you're gonna dry shave somebody, the more hair that's there, the bigger chance of irritating the skin or it's pulling their hair. You can see them making faces as you do it. So I like to cut some of that off. I'm not worried about getting the lines sharp though, because I'm gonna come in with my razor right now and get it sharp. So we're just gonna hit his vertical bar. We already lined it up. We're just gonna hit it with the razor and get it sharp. And then we will hit that top line of his beard. I think I only recorded one side, guys. Like I said, I wasn't really trying to record this and the camera stopped, but I am planning on doing a little bit of a razor work video soon. So you guys let me know if you wanna see that. Now guys, I actually wet his hair again, put some product in it, and I'm using my diffuser to dry the hair, bring his texture back out. You guys see he has a nice curly texture. I'm gonna bring the texture back out, give him a nice finished style. Then you guys can check out the finished product. And real quick guys, before we end the video, I will be in Fort Worth February 20th doing a class with Yo Fonz and Get Beamed. I'm gonna have links for the tickets in the description below. And the following weekend, or Monday actually, the 28th, I'll be in Concord, California at Urban Barber College. So you guys click the link down below. I would love to see all you guys at those classes and teach you guys in person. But there he is, guys. Look at him at the before. Absolutely crazy transformation. Had to get a video out of it. And there's the end result, guys. High bald fade, even Steven on top. But you guys see we gave him a transformation. He looks so much better than when he walked in. Guys, as always, if you liked the video, smash that thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think of this cut. And make sure you guys subscribe. I got some dope content dropping soon. As always, I appreciate you guys watching and I'll catch you next time.